What really happened on Iwo Jima? Soldiers reveal the uncensored truth. They saved the world, but their names have been erased, America's forgotten heroes. They fought against all odds, but they won despite it. We'll take a closer look at what happened, who's to blame, and what it all led to. Support the channel by subscribing, leave your thoughts in the comments, and share this video. The topic is far too serious to stay silent. 18 kilometers of underground tunnels. 21,000 fanatical defenders who swore to die. An island transformed into a giant fortress, where every rock concealed a machine gun, every cave held an entire garrison. Japanese General Kuribayashi created a perfect defensive system he considered impregnable. But he didn't know one thing. He didn't know what American Marines were capable of. On February 19, 1945, 30,000 Marines stepped onto the black sand of Iwo Jima. 36 days later, the stars and stripes flew over every meter of the island. And today you'll learn how Americans accomplished the impossible. How tactical genius, unbreakable will, and absolute bravery broke the most powerful defense of the Pacific War. Let's start with what our boys faced. Iwo Jima Island, 1,250 kilometers south of Tokyo. 10 kilometers long, 4 wide. Volcanic rock, black sand, Mount Suribachi in the south. American command needed this land. B-29 bombers flew to bomb Japan from the Mariana Islands, 2,400 kilometers round trip. Iwo Jima stood right in the middle. Japanese radar detected raids hours before target. Fighters scrambled to intercept. Every mission meant losses of aircraft and crews. Admiral Chester Nimitz understood. This thorn must be pulled. Turn it into our base. Give pilots a place for emergency landing. Cover the right flank before the Okinawa invasion. Strategically absolutely correct. But how to take an island that the Japanese prepared for defense for months? General Kuribayashi, commanding the defense, was one of the best Japanese commanders. He studied in the USA, knew American tactics, and he created a hellish system. 18 kilometers of tunnels under the island, bunkers connected by underground passages, artillery positions in rocks, fire and hide back, machine gun nests with 3 to 4 spare exits, minefields on beaches. Every meter of the island pre-registered, but most important, Kuribayashi banned samurai attacks. No insane banzai cries, no charges with swords, only cold, rational defense. Exhaust the enemy, turn every meter into hell. He prepared the perfect trap. 21,000 soldiers waited for the Americans. But American command prepared an answer. The operation received the code name Detachment. Command of the Marines understood this would be tough. So they assembled the best. 4th Marine Division, Pacific veterans. 5th Division, fresh but excellently trained. 3rd Division in reserve. 5th Amphibious Corps under command of General Harry Schmidt. 70,000 Marines total strength. Most powerful artillery support from ships. Absolute air superiority. Americans weren't going to play by Kuribayashi's rules. They were going to rewrite those rules. On February 16th, the fleet began bombardment. General Schmidt wanted 10 days of artillery preparation. Admiral Blandy gave 3. Conservation of ammunition. Controversial decision, but Marines work with what they have. 3-day ships pounded the island. 14,000 tons of shells. Mount Suribachi burned. The island turned into a lunar landscape, but American intelligence already knew Japanese are deep underground. Artillery won't reach them, so the island must be taken by infantry. Hard, methodical, professional, exactly as only Marines know how. On February 19th at 9 in the morning, the first landing craft headed for shore. 4th and 5th Divisions, wave after wave. Marines knew what awaited them, knew about tunnels, about fortifications. But fear is what a Marine leaves in the boat. Only determination and fury come ashore, black volcanic sand. Tanks get stuck, impossible to dig in, soil is loose. And silence, eerie silence. Kuribayashi held fire, waited for Americans to come deeper. Classic trap, but American command anticipated this. Sappers already worked on the beach, clearing passages through minefields. Signal troops deployed communications. Officers coordinated advance. Everything by the book, even under the silence that was about to explode with fire. At 1000 hours, Japanese opened fire. From all points at once. Aimed, methodical. Here it is, Kuribayashi's trap. 24th and 25th Regiments came under hurricane fire. But Marines didn't flinch. This is the key moment. Any other army caught in such a meat grinder would have rolled back. Marines went forward. Officers shouted commands. Sergeants led squads. Privates crawled under bullets, sought cover, returned fire. In several hours, the 24th and 25th Regiments lost 25% of their strength. Of 56 tanks, 26 were knocked out. But the line didn't break. Moreover, Marines continued advancing. By evening, 30,000 men secured the beachhead. Bridgehead captured. The first day cost 501 lives, 1,755 wounded. But objective achieved. Japanese trap didn't work. Americans held. The night from 19th to 20th February showed why Marines are elite. Kuribayashi sent small groups on night raids. Sabotage, sudden attacks, standard tactics, don't let the enemy rest. But Marines organized circular defense. Machine gun teams at key points, mortar crews ready to give illumination rounds, artillery on ships awaited call. Japanese ran into a wall of fire. Hand-to-hand combat happened, but brief. Marines fought like lions. By morning, Japanese raids ceased, too expensive, and Americans, instead of dead, being exhausted, met dawn ready for offensive. This is professionalism of the highest level. On February 21st, Americans began methodical advance. Here, tactical genius of command manifested. Kuribayashi built defense expecting frontal attacks. Americans gave him something else. Engineer units worked ahead of infantry, blew up tunnel entrances, poured napalm into positions. Flamethrower troops became key fighters. See an embrasure? Flamethrower crawls up, gives stream inside. Japanese either burn or run out. Automatic fire meets them there. Tanks that weren't knocked out on first day now worked as mobile pillboxes, covered infantry. Mortars hit coordinates given by forward units. Artillery from ships covered Japanese positions in the north. This was a symphony of fire and steel, and Marines conducted it virtuously. That same day, Japanese kamikaze attacked the fleet. 32 aircraft, sank carrier Bismarck C, damaged Saratoga. 40 sailors died, but fleet remained on station, continued supporting landing. This is American character. Take a hit and continue mission. Don't retreat, don't fold, complete the task at any cost. Heroes were born every day. John Basilone, Medal of Honor holder for Guadalcanal. He was sent to the States to sell war bonds. He could have stayed safe, but he returned to duty, because a Marine's place is with Marines. He landed on Iwo Jima in the first wave, saw a tank stuck under fire, ran to help the crew, killed by shrapnel on the first day. Marine Corps legend, holder of highest award, killed on the beach in the first hours of battle. This is what it means to be a Marine. Marine Jim Blaine from 5th Division, in combat killed 3 Japanese with flamethrower. Took bullet to helmet, ricocheted. Took bullet in foot, went straight through. Medic wrapped it with cloth. Blaine kept walking. 36 days of battle, he didn't see a doctor. Just walked forward on wounded foot. Because Marines don't quit. He's 101 years old now. He still remembers every day of that battle. And he's proud he was there. That he was part of the greatest operation of the Marine Corps. On February 22nd began the battle for Suribachi. Mountain 169 meters high. Commanding height. From there, Japanese controlled entire southern shore. Take it, secure the beachhead. 28th Marine Regiment received the task. Colonel Harry Liversedge, Pacific veteran, led his men to attack. Suribachi slopes riddled with caves, each one a firing point. Japanese shoot, hide deep inside, appear in another place. But Marines developed tactics, small assault groups, flamethrower operator, demolitions expert, covering rifleman, crawl to cave, flamethrower gives stream. If Japanese are deep inside, demolitions man plants charge, blows entrance. next cave, and so meter by meter up the slope. On February 23rd, a patrol of 41 Marines reached Suribachi summit. Lieutenant Harold Schreier led the group. At summit, crater, several Japanese. Brief fight, Japanese killed. Marines found piece of pipe, tied small American flag, raised it. Below, on shore, thousands of Marines saw the flag, roared with joy. Ships sounded horns. This was moment of triumph. But command decided, flag is small, need big one. So all of America can see. Sent large banner, 6 Marines, Ira Hayes, Franklin Sousley, Michael Strank, John Bradley, René Gagnon, and Harlan Block raised it at summit. Photographer Joe Rosenthal clicked shutter. One photograph changed everything. It circled world in hours. Became symbol of American victory, symbol of unbreakable will. Pulitzer Prize. Most famous war photograph in history. 3 of 6 died later in combat, Sowley, Strank, and Block. They didn't know they became legend. They just followed orders. That's the greatness, not thinking about glory but doing the job. Taking Suribachi was a brilliant move. Japanese lost key position, their artillery no longer controlled shore. Americans gained tactical advantage, but most important, moral effect. Flag on mountaintop, enemy sees, Americans are here to stay. For Marines, this is inspiration. For Japanese, blow to morale. Command used psychology of war 100%. Now began the hardest part, north of Island. There, Kuribayashi's main forces, labyrinth of fortifications. Marines moved at speed of 10 meters per hour. Slow? No. Methodical. Every bunker cleared, every tunnel checked. Engineers ahead, search for mines, blow entrances. Flamethrowers burn positions. Infantry clears. Tanks give fire support. Artillery hits on call. This is like surgical operation. Precise, professional, merciless. Places got names. The Meat Grinder, complex of bunkers and tunnels where Japanese held to death. 850 Marines died storming this position, but took it. Bloody Gorge, last line of defense. Japanese retreated there knowing there was no exit. Fought to the last. Marines went forward, not from hatred, from duty, for comrades right and left, for flag on Suribachi, for America thousands of kilometers away. American command adapted right in battle, saw artillery ineffective against bunkers, switched to flamethrowers and demolition charges, understood Japanese use tunnels for maneuver, started placing explosives in passages, blocking system, Japanese attack at night, organized round-the-clock illumination of island, aviation dropped flare bombs, ships shone searchlights, turned night into day, deprived Japanese of darkness advantage. This is tactical flexibility of highest class. On March 4th, 1st B-29 landed at captured Motoyama airfield. Aircraft was damaged in Tokyo raid. 11 crew members saved. While fighting still went on, while Japanese fired from north of island, American engineers already repaired runway. 4 days after capture, airfield worked. This is American efficiency. Don't wait till battle ends. Act immediately. Every day of war costs lives. Faster base operates, more pilots we save. On March 6th, Marines captured 2nd Airfield. On March 11th, organized resistance ended. Island effectively in American hands. But Kuribayashi and several hundred soldiers still held in tunnels in north. On March 25th, he led final counterattack. At night, suddenly, 53 Marines killed, 119 wounded. But counterattack failed. Kuribayashi died, killed in action, or committed seppuku, unknown. His last strike didn't change outcome. Iwo Jima was American. On March 26, 1945, island officially declared secured. 36 days of battle, toughest battle of Marine Corps. 6,821 Marines died, 19,217 wounded. But task completed. Impregnable fortress fell. Japanese defense, considered perfect, broken. American flag flies over every meter of island. Price is high, but result, for remaining months of war, 2,400 B-29s made emergency landing on Iwo Jima. 11 men in each crew, 26,400 lives saved. American pilots who bombed Japan, bringing end of war closer. Plus, fighters now escorted bombers all the way to Tokyo. Raid accuracy increased, losses decreased, strategic bombing of Japan became maximally effective. But most important, something else. Iwo Jima showed Japanese command that Americans will take any position. No matter how well fortified, no matter how many defenders, Marines will come and take it. This is psychological blow to Japanese leadership. Defense plans for main islands were built on assumption Americans won't withstand losses. Iwo Jima proved opposite. Americans ready to pay any price for victory. This changed Japanese calculations. Admiral Chester Nimitz said famous words, "Among Americans who served on island Iwo, uncommon valor was a common virtue." This isn't just beautiful phrase, this is truth. Every Marine on that island was hero. From private with flamethrower to general planning operation, from medic dragging wounded under fire to pilot bombing Japanese positions, from sailor on ship giving artillery support to engineer clearing beach of mines. This was teamwork, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, all together. This is American military machine at its best. After Iwo Jima came Okinawa, even heavier battle, but Iwo Jima experience helped. Tactics of clearing tunnels, use of flamethrowers, round-the-clock illumination, all lessons applied. Okinawa taken, path to main Japanese islands open, but invasion wasn't needed. August 6th, Hiroshima. August 9th, Nagasaki. August 15th, surrender. War over. American Marines, soldiers and sailors can return home. Iwo Jima became one of last battles, and one of greatest victories. Today, at Suribachi Summit, stands memorial. American and Japanese veterans meet there on battle anniversaries. Former enemies, now friends. In Washington stands monument, bronze group of Marines, raising flag. This is most recognizable military sculpture in world. Symbol of American resolve, reminder of what our boys are capable of when it comes to defending freedom. U.S. Navy named several ships in honor of Iwo Jima. This is tradition, honor places of great battles. Amphibious assault ship USS Iwo Jima served from 1961 to 2002. 41 years of service. Participated in Vietnam, Persian Gulf, evacuations worldwide. Carried name with pride. Showed world. American Navy remembers its heroes. National World War II Museum in New Orleans stores artifacts from Iwo Jima. Weapons, Marines' personal items, photographs. 12,000 personal testimonies collected. Oral histories of veterans, their words a living memory. Jim Blaine, 101 years old, still gives interviews. Tells school children about that battle, explains why Marines don't retreat. Passes tradition to new generation. This is important, because history isn't just dates and numbers, it's people, their decisions, their bravery, their sacrifice. Battle for Iwo Jima proved several things to world. First, American Marines are best assault troops on planet, will take any position, complete any mission. Second, American command knows how to plan most complex operations and adapt in real time. Third, American people stand behind their military. Sacrifices are heavy, but nation didn't flinch. War continued to victory. Fourth, technological and material superiority matters, but main thing is people, their spirit, their readiness to go all the way. Japanese created perfect defense, used every terrain advantage, showed fanatical bravery, but lost. Why? Because Americans proved smarter, more flexible, more professional. Because Marines didn't just charge, they thought, adapted, won. Because behind every private stood system. Intelligence, logistics, medicine, communications. Modern army versus army of past. Future versus desperate attempt to stop it. When you look at photograph of 6 Marines with flag, you see more than moment of triumph. You see symbol of everything they fought for. Freedom, democracy, right of peoples to self-determination, American values. 3 died after that shot, gave lives for these values. Rest returned home heroes. 1, Ira Hayes, couldn't cope with memories. Became alcoholic, but even his tragedy is reminder of price of war. That heroism on battlefield doesn't guarantee easy life after. Veterans need support, remember, honor. Iwo Jima changed calculations of Japanese command. Showed defense of main islands doomed. Hastened end of war, saved lives, both American and Japanese. Paradox of war. Take one island, sacrifice thousands to save millions. Brutal mathematics. But command made right choice. History confirmed this. Write in comments what you think about American tactics on Iwo Jima. Did you know how methodically Marines dismantled Japanese defense? Which moments of battle impressed you most? Iwo Jima is lesson of what real professionalism in military means. This is story about people who faced impossible and won. Because they're Americans, because they're Marines, because giving up isn't in their nature. Remember this. Value freedom they defended. And never forget, behind every flag stand real people who gave everything so it could fly.